Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, the price point for Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev has been set at $24.99, the same as the Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch. Now, of course, we were led to believe that that was a one-off thing. It would then go back to its normal amount, but it seems to be staying around that same number, which I mean is not really bad, but the problem could occur when they do the Tyson Fury fight. So if you think that this one is $24.99, then you think that okay, if they're doing that for this one, then what are they going to do for Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? Because that is a mega event. So in that case, would it then go up to 30, 35, maybe even 40? The problem is, does it then stay at that amount? Because obviously it was supposed to be $24.99 for just Andy Ruiz. Now all of a sudden it's staying at that price point. So does that mean when Tyson Fury comes along, it then goes up to 30, 40 and stays at that? So it is not just the fact that it is at $24.99, it's the fact that it does keep creeping up, and that's something that maybe does need to be kept in account of when making these kind of fights, to make sure that certain fans are able to see this fight and watch their favourite fighters in the best fights. Now obviously there is a stacked undercard, there is a World Championship fight in the Cruiserweight division for Lawrence Okolie, there is also Martin Bakole versus Sergey Kuzmin, and also Hughie Fury against Mariusz Wach. Are they good fights? Are they fights that warrant being a stacked undercard for an event like this? Well, obviously the main event is Anthony Joshua. That is what everyone is paying the money to see, but the undercard also is what we want to see. There are certain people who do just pay for the main event. Fair enough. I mean, it's their money. They can do what they want. If they just want to see the main event, then that's fine by them. But there are other fight fans who do want to see a stacked undercard also, like the one in Saudi Arabia. Because I have to tell you and admit, that card in Saudi Arabia was incredible. I enjoyed every single fight that was on. And I mean, the standout was, apart from Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, it was definitely Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin. What a fight to have on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. when the intensity and the intrigue was already there anyway, yet there was still a stacked undercard. Is the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Pulev as good as Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr.? In my opinion, no, it's not. I do not believe it is as good as in Saudi Arabia. Now, is the main event as good, Anthony Joshua versus Pulev? Not necessarily, because I think that it will be more entertaining in the sense that Anthony Joshua will likely get a knockout. But, as I said, the intrigue, the kind of storyline of the Ruiz rematch was there. That was the reason why everyone was so interested. So, there were many fight fans buying it because of the undercard and the main event, but there were also many fans buying it just for the main event. Now, having said that, I'm not necessarily complaining about this price point of $24.99. I'm just playing devil's advocate, and you have to challenge him. You have to say that, okay, give us the reason why this warrants being on the level of AJ Ruiz. That is the thing that we have to do when looking at this. There does have to be a reason as to why they are putting it at that price point. I mean, obviously they won't have fans there, so they need to make up some revenue. They won't be able to make up all of it, but they do need to recoup some of that. And maybe that is made up by the extra $4.99 put on to the pay-per-view, when maybe it wouldn't be that kind of price point if they could get fans into the arenas. So if they are trying to recoup some of that money that they would otherwise lose from the live gate, then that is understandable to subsidize this kind of event, to put on the undercard as well. But I'm just thinking that the undercard is not as strong as in Saudi, and the main event is going to be a great fight, very entertaining, very explosive, and don't blink because it might not last long, but there does need to be a reason as to why it stays at that price point. In my opinion, it is because they cannot get fans into the arenas, and they are trying to make up some of that loss of gate revenue in the pay-per-view. That, I believe, is the reason why they are doing it. As I said, it's not something I'm mad about or anything like that, and I don't know what you guys think. You need to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you do that. Make sure you say what you think, because ultimately you have your opinion. You're entitled to say whatever you want. But I'm not mad at that. I'm just worried that it might continue to creep up, especially if we are going into a Tyson Fury fight when it could potentially go higher, 30, 40 pounds maybe, something like that. Then the question is, does it then stay at that as well, considering what has happened in the past? Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.